Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I'm going to show you how to prepare Django programming environment in a Linux system. I will guide you step by step through the process of installing and configuring virtual environment, Python, Django framework, and MySQL database. Briefly, I just wanted to mention the programming environment that is on my computer. So it is the Linux operating system, specifically Rocky Linux, which is based on Fedora, essentially the same as Red Hat. Why did I choose this system? Well, because Linux will also be my main production system. The main aspects that speak in favor of Linux are its stability, ease of configuration, large community support, and it's free. The directory structure marked in red are folders that may be used for the production system in the future. It's worth mentioning that our project will have many different credentials, secret keys, and configuration paths, and all of them need to be spread through the entire system. Highlighted those marked in green, as they are mainly used for the installing additional applications such as code editors. Let's move on to main point of our system, which is the virtual environment. We need to separate all tools and Python from the rest of our system. What could happen if one of our tools receives an update? You know, the entire project can crash. The main program here is, of course, Python, which serves as the backbone of Django. With Python, we can make our project more complex. Django is the core of the entire project, so I choose the version 4.2, which is the version with long-term support. And the Django framework provides everything we need: scalability, security, and speed for web development. Next on my list is pip, is a package manager which help us install the required tools and modules for Python and Django in the future. The database is not required during the development of this app, but I decided to do it as it will be in production in the future. So the database is MySQL, and phpMyAdmin is used to manage the MySQL database. And the last one before we start is a MySQL connector. The main purpose of this tool is communication between Python and the database. I think that's all for now, so let's proceed directly to the specific example. The first thing we need to do is, of course, create a virtual environment. We do this with the command python-m venv nv. venv is simple the name of the module, while env is a name we invent. As we can see, the virtual environment has been created. Let's see what's inside this directory. The directory that interests us the most is bin, where the activation file is located. To activate the virtual environment, simply run the command source activate. The indication inside the round brackets show us if the virtual environment is active. Before moving on to the next step, let's ensure we have the Python package manager installed in our environment. I want to mention that Python pip has been the default package manager since version probably 3.4. Let's check the list of packages. Okay, we have a warning that our version here is older, so let's quickly upgrade it. We can see that the Python package manager is installed in our virtual environment, so all should be good now. By the way, before we proceed to download a specific version of Django, I have some open pages and information about the virtual environment here. It provides instructions how to install and use it, as well as information about the Python package manager. So please take a look at these pages. I will add these links in description below. As I mentioned earlier, I decided to go with the version 4.2 for my project. Currently version 5.0 is available, but at the moment I'm not convinced about it, so I opted to the version with more extended support. Let's now check if the file has been downloaded. The next step is unpacking our Django archive. For this purpose I use the tar command. Then the final installation of the Django system using the pip package manager. Editable mode is beneficial during development when we are actively working on a module and want to see changes without needing to reinstall it every time we modified it. Let's quickly check if all has been installed. Let's create our project now using the Django admin start project command, followed by the name of our project. In this case, I've come up with the name public library. Done. Now let's check what's inside the newly created project. The manage.py file is a crucial component within a Django project. It serves as a command line utility that provides various functionalities for managing a Django project, such as starting the development server, running database migrations, creating new applications, and more. Let's use one of the initial commands, namely run server. As we can see, our server has been started. Please do not pay attention to any messages for now, such as those indicating pending migrations or similar issues. We will address those at the later stage. Let's now copy the access link to our application and open it in a web browser. As we can see, our server is up and running and the application is functioning. Let's return to our terminal. Pressing Ctrl+C will disconnect from the server. So at this point we have created our project. Now it's time to make the first application within our project. For those who are new to Django, this might seem a bit complicated and somewhat unclear. What does it mean to create an application within a project? I will explain briefly using a diagram. A Django project is the entire web application that you are building using Django. It contains the entire application's settings, URLs and configurations. It is usually the highest level directory in your Django project structure. A Django application is a submodule or a component within a Django project. It represents a specific feature or functionality within the larger project. Applications are designed to be reusable and can be plugged into different projects if needed. Okay, so let's go back to our project. As we can see, we have created our first application named Bookcase. A new directory has been created, and within this directory we have the entire skeleton of our new application. Now let's take a look at our project overall using the tree command. This allows us to see our application's contents and main project simultaneously. As we can see, the application has a fairly elaborate file system, similar to the project folder. The main file here is settings.py, which serves as the control center for configuring tasks and etc. As we build the application, we will gradually learn this file and its functions. Okay, let's move on to the next stage of preparing our project, installing the MySQL database. First, we need to install the MySQL server. In my case, it's already installed. Let's check the status to make sure. As we can see, the server is running. Next, of course, is the installation of the MySQL database. This process is relatively simple. We need to answer a few questions. Of course, we don't change the root password. I will create a new user later and grant right to use the database. Remove anonymous users. We don't allow remote connections to the database, especially not in the production version. We can easily connect remotely to our server and access our database there. Let's check if we can connect to our database. As we can see, the database has been created and everything is working correctly. Now, a few important configuration settings to ensure that database daemon runs permanently. At this point, I'd like to draw attention to one thing I experienced while developing applications on my laptop. I noticed a significant decrease in my laptop's performance every time I turn MySQL Deamon on. So keep that in mind. Once again, let's quickly connect to the database to ensure everything is functioning as smoothly as before. Since I will not be using SQL commands in this project, I plan to install an overlay for the MySQL database for easy management. That will be phpMyAdmin. Before I install it, I suggest you make sure you also have the extra package in your system. Now we can proceed with the actual installation. Done. phpMyAdmin is installed. To ensure everything functions properly, we need to make some tweaks to our firewall. I will not delve too much into this topic. I recommend you to visit the website. I will include the link in the description. And finally, we have to restart our web server, and we are done. Okay, now let's try to access our database. Okay, as we can see, the address to the phpMyAdmin is localhost / phpMyAdmin. Let's create our first database. In this case, I will choose the name public library and create. Okay, so database has been created, and now all that's left is to install the Python MySQL connector. As you can see, using the pip Python package manager is very straightforward process. It's time for the final configuration of our database within the project. For this purpose, we will use the configuration file settings.py. We need to edit this file using the Vim editor, but of course you can edit the code using your favorite application. We need to find the section responsible for the database. Okay, so it's already here. Okay, so it will not be SQLite. We have to change to MySQL. This is the name of database, so it will be public library. As you remember, we created this name in the phpMyAdmin. Next will be user. User originally was root, but I created a new one in phpMyAdmin. Okay, and password. Okay, and host, it will be localhost. Okay, and of course port for the MySQL is a 3306. Okay, save, exit. There is one more file to which we need to add an entry. It's init.py. Yeah, this one, and we have to edit this file. I'm using the Vim editor. Okay, so let's run our server once again. As you can see, we still have the pending migration. Finally, we can resolve this problem because we have the connection to the database. So Python manage.py migrate. Okay, and everything should be done shortly. Okay. Yeah, it's all done. Okay, we run the server once again, and as we can see, everything loaded correctly. We navigate to our database. The server is running. The database is refreshed. Okay, and we see that all records have been transferred to the MySQL database. This will be the last thing we need to do in this video. Connect application named bookcase to the main project. For this purpose, we have to edit file settings.py and find the section related to installed applications. And of course, we have to add the name of our new created application to this list. Oh, I nearly forgot about the most important thing, creating an administrator for our project. The command is python manage.py create SuperUser. I can choose the admin. Email address, we can leave it blank. Password. Okay. Yeah, it's all done. We can run the server once again. Okay, so login as an admin. The address is localhost and /admin. Okay, we will explore more functionalities related to the admin panel in the upcoming episodes as we continue to develop our project. I think at the moment that's it for now. Okay. Control-C to stop server and command deactivate stop environment.